Hi guys, so in today's video, I want to give you guys an update on Vybz Kartel Privy Council case, and I also want to show you guys and tell you guys how to watch it live because you will be able to watch it live. And this part of the video is coming from Dancehall Mag, and it says Isat Buchanan, the attorney who represents King of Dancehall Vybz Kartel, told Dancehall Mag on Sunday that he's eager to argue the Fever DJ's final appeal at the UK Judicial Committee of the Privy Council on Wednesday and Thursday, February 14th and 15th, respectively. In March of 2014, Kartel real name Adidja Palmer and My Life artist Sean Storm Campbell and two associates, Kahir Jones and Andre Matsu St. John, were all found guilty of killing Clive Lizard Williams, who, according to the prosecutors, had disappeared after failing to return two unlicensed firearms to Kartel. His body was never found. After their conviction was largely upheld by the Jamaica Court of Appeal in April of 2020, the four men moved to the Privy Council, the final court of appeal for some Commonwealth nations, including Jamaica, seeking to overturn their life sentences that range from 22 to 32 years before parole. They allege, among other things, that the crucial cell phone evidence was improperly obtained and that the trial itself, which lasted 64 days, in the Kingston Home Circuit Court, was compromised. Privy Council has assigned a panel of 5 justices: Lord Reed, Lord Lloyd Jones, Lord Briggs, Lord Burrows, and Lady Simeller, who will hear arguments from both sides on key issues in the case. They will then issue a ruling in due course, typically a few months. According to Buchanan and the court records independently obtained by Dancehall Mag, the key issues to be decided in Kartel's final appeal are: should the judge have excluded the telecommunications evidence relied on by the prosecution? How should the judge have handled the allegations that there were attempts to bribe members of the jury during the trial? Should the jury or the particular juror said to have offered the bribes have been discharged? The judge wrong to invite the jury to reach a verdict late in the day given special circumstances of the case? Many regard Buchanan as the ideal candidate to take World Boss case to the UK, as not only was he once a musician himself, he is also a big fan of the Sweet Life DJ. He asked if he was optimistic about the chances of winning, and he responded, "I believe in the Jamaican Constitution. It is the last instrument in existence that restores humanity in Jamaica."
Mentally, I've always been in a good place because I know I'm innocent.
For more than 10 years, Adidja Vybz Kartel Palmer has maintained his innocence in the alleged murder of Clive Williams, whose body was never found. His conviction came from a mostly circumstantial case based on a video and phone records from his BlackBerry torch and a discredited witness. Now a comprehensive investigation by a certified British digital forensic expert casts doubts about the very authenticity of this evidence.
The central argument in the case questions the validity of cell phone and other telecommunication evidence represented by the prosecution. Police had seized a total of 10 cell phones, including 4 belonging to Kartel, when the artist and his co-appellants were arrested on September 30th, 2011. In particular, one of the phones, a BlackBerry torch belonging to Kartel, its SIM card and SD card allegedly contained evidence that linked him to Williams' murder. A Privy Council summary of the case states that the prosecution relied heavily on the evidence derived from these phones, which was taken from a copy of a CD-ROM provided by Judicial, a telecommunications provider in Jamaica, in response to the police request. At the trial, the appellants challenged the admissibility of these telecommunication evidence. They argued that the police requested to Digicel and Judicial provision of data to the police were carried out in breach of the Interception of Communications Act. It continued. Further, the evidence had been obtained in breach of the fundamental right to the protection of privacy of communication guaranteed by the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom contained in the Jamaican Constitution. However, the trial judge ruled that the telecommunication evidence was admissible.
In short, he found it didn't match up with the scientific reality.
So when there is a gap between the footprint, for instance, the video didn't have any GPS on it, and all other videos on the phone had GPS, had the metadata and the epoch times in sequence.
In his detailed report, digital forensic expert David John Martin Woodgate found that the video prosecutors claim put Palmer at the scene of the crime also had a timestamp that was different from the inalterable embed time. Buchanan says Kartel was at the hospital at the time of the alleged murder, and this proves it.
Tampering or a misrepresentation.
Another significant concern pertains to the attempted jury tampering. During the trial, the judge, Justice Lennox Campbell, became aware of an allegation that a juror had attempted to bribe the jury forewoman by offering her 500,000 Jamaican dollars for her to influence other jurors to return a not guilty verdict. The offer was also allegedly made to some other jurors. After investigating the allegation and considering it with counsel for both the prosecution and the defense, the judge decided that the trial should proceed. He did not discharge the jury or the particular juror said to have offered the bribe, the Privy Council records reveal. And that right there is crazy. If there is any allegations in a court case that you are trying to bribe someone, you're not supposed to be on that jury anymore. They're supposed to take that person out, or sometimes the judge will dismiss the whole jury and start over the whole trial with a whole new 12-member jury. So that is crazy. In March 2023, the particular juror, a man named Livingston Kane, was sentenced to 12 months in prison at hard labor on a charge of attempting to pervert the course of justice in Kartel's case. At the time, his attorney, Valerie Netta Robertson, KC, told Dancehall Mag that he would be appealing the conviction. Kartel and his co-appellants are also questioning Justice Campbell's decision to send the jury for a verdict late on the day, potentially pressuring them to arrive at a decision. The judge finished his summoning up at 3:42 p.m. on the 13th of March 2014, and the jury returned at 5:35 p.m. when the forewoman told the court that the jury had not reached an ununanimous verdict, the court records noted. The judge sent the jury out again at 6:08 p.m. and the jury returned by the majority of 10-1 convicted the appellant of murder of Mr. Williams. And that right there is wrong. If you cannot get a verdict or summon by a certain time, you're supposed to let the people go to their hotel rooms, rest, and come back. If you guys pay attention to certain cases in the US of A, that is exactly what happened in the YNW Melly case. The jurors could not come up with a ununanimous verdict, and you know what the judge did? He told them to go home and come back again, and the same thing happened. He declared a mistrial. So that is very wrong on so many levels. Vybz Kartel and his co-appellant had also sought to introduce 2 additional grounds for appeal, including the introduction of fresh evidence that Kartel's cell phone has shown signs of tampering while in police custody. In February 2023, the Privy Council denied the 2 applications. July of 2023, Bert Samuels, the attorney of Shornstorm, had announced that the UK court had set tentative dates of April 16th through 18 in 2024 to hear the main arguments in the quartet appeal. However, Kartel's battle with grave disease led to an expedited date for the appeal. His condition is being managed as best as possible in the circumstances currently. Proper treatment, however, is needed, Buchanan said. In addition to the cell phone evidence, prosecutor had relied on the sole eyewitness, Lamar Wee Chow, who had made an account of the evidence that took place at the Fever DJ's house in Havandale, St. Andrew on August 16, 2021. Wee testified that on the day that he had accompanied Shornstorm and Williams to Kartel's home, where they had been summoned over missing firearms, which were referred to in the cell phone messages as shoes, Wee said Kartel and Andre St. John and Kahir Jones were already at the house when they arrived. According to Trow, while Kartel was questioning them about the guns, Jones held Williams from behind while Chow immediately ran into another room. He added that Kartel and Shortstorm forcibly brought him back to the room where he saw Lizard lying motionless on his back with Jones bending him over and St. John holding a concrete block in his hands. Chow claimed that he feared for his safety, so he fled again, this time running from the house by climbing over a gate. He testified he was chased by Kartel, who later assured him that he had nothing to worry about. However, instead of returning to the house, Chow said he accompanied Kartel to a hospital where Kartel was treated for a dog bite he had received during the chase. Kartel defense had questioned Chow's credibility during the original trial and cited his inconsistent account of the events, including a purported letter by Chow to a public defender which stated that he saw Lizard after August 16, 2021, and that the police had pressured him to give conflicting statements. Gaza Slim, now Vanessa Bling, known for her ride or die anthems, Anything or Anything, and One Man with Kartel, was also caught up in the case after she filed a police report claiming that Williams had robbed her after the date of his death. Bling was charged with attempting to pervert the course of justice, and she spent a brief time in jail and years on bail before the charge was dropped in 2014, which is why Vanessa Bling don't want to have anything to do with this case, because they held that case over her head for years. In April of 2014, Kartel was initially given 35 years before being eligible for parole. It was, however, reduced to 32 years and 6 months following a Jamaica Court of Appeal ruling in 2020. St. John had to serve 30 years before being eligible for parole and had his time shaved down to 27 years and 6 months. Shornstorm and Jones, who had served 25 years before being eligible, had their reduced to 22 years and 6 months. I also want to tell you guys exactly how to get to the case and how to stream it live. And it says the appeal hearing in London will be live streamed Wednesday the 14th and Thursday the 15th on their website. And you're going to go to jcpc.uk. Go to that website, look for the section that says court sittings just below the pic of the building. Click on the view all JCPC settings. The calendar will pop up. If you don't see February 14, go down to 2024/2023 year and click on view settings for Hillary term 2024, and you will see the date Wednesday, February 14, Sean Storm and 3 others. So if you want to know how to get it and how to live stream it, that's how you do it. You have to go to jcpc.uk. With that being said, that is the update on Vybz Kartel appeal and everything that they're going to be talking about in his case. So you're up to date. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.